Okay, we're rolling. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the story of First Power Girl pretty much just comes from my love of children's books and just sort of the children's book illustration, sort of old world style. One of the books that I grew up with that I really loved a lot was called The Ship's Cat. It's illustrated by Alan Aldridge, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it was the same gentleman who did Watership Down.
Richard Adams.
Richard Adams, okay. Yeah, that book is an amazingly gorgeous book.
My favorite book of all time.
It's really, The Ship's Cat is very ornate and very, decorative. It's about pretty much a pirate cat who gets captured by the Spanish, and then he sort of breaks out and steals the ship. But it's a great book, and I just remember, seeing that book and just marveling at just the minute detail of it all. And I started drawing, little skeleton pirates and little mermaids and unicorns and stuff like that. So I've always been focused on sort of a fantastical. And when it came time to really, come up with a book idea, I did one book, it didn't do so well. I did another book, it didn't do so well. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and make it a little bit more open to a wider audience. So I wanted an all-ages book. And I did an illustration of this pirate woman. She was like a sort of a pin-up, tattoo-inspired piece of artwork of a woman. She had an eye patch on with an X, and she had a treasure chest on one shoulder, and she's holding a giant anchor that was sort of hooked into a shark that was breaking through a deck. And I really liked that image, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take that character and I'll just turn her into a little girl, and then I will, write a story about that. So that's sort of the beginnings. I did a 4-page mini story that was for an art program. There was an art show, a gallery show of comic art at Eastern Michigan University. This was maybe 8 years ago, somewhere around that. And the gentleman who was putting on the show wanted to have lots of local artists do short stories. And so I wrote a 4-page short story. It was the first Pirate Girl story. It even has her father in it, and a giant squid. I can go wrong with that. And from that, I really liked the character, and I thought, well, maybe I can turn this into a web comic where I just do a page a week kind of a thing. Which is funny because that's my rate right now. But it was originally going to be just a very textured, very detailed, very ornate, little simple story. But I decided instead of that, I'll write out the whole script. I wrote out the whole script. It took me about 3 weeks to complete. And I wrote it on continuous speed tractor paper, old tractor feed paper. So you can actually still sort of open it up, and it's 24 feet of script. But I took that and sectioned off into different, what I thought I could fit into a book, and that's pretty much where it came from.
Fantastic. Now, for the die-hard Bastian fans out there, what were those first 2 projects that didn't pan out?
Well, one was called Phantom Phore, C-O-R-P, and you can still get that on comicspress.com. It's COMIXPRESS.com. And the other one was, I came out with this other one pretty much at the same time. It was actually a collaboration with this guy here. It's called Old Lore of YoreJeremy, and that we reprinted that first Pirate Girl story. I came up with another story called Sir Hannibal of Ash, sort of a medieval sort of knight, but he's a skeleton made out of wood. It was pretty cool. I like the idea, and I've got other stories I'd love to do at some point. But so we came out with this anthology book that had a couple stories in it. It sold a lot better than my book, but this is also the same year that Dave had put out Mouse Guard, his self-published version of Mouse Guard at the same time. So we had, he had his Mouse Guard, I had my Phantom Phore, and then together we had the Old Lore of YoreJeremy book. And Mouse Guard sold through the roof. Phantom Phore sold all right, and I think I sold 4 issues of, Old Lore of YoreJeremy sold about pretty well, but I think I only sold about 4 issues of Phantom Phore. So that's when I decided I needed to try and reach a broader audience.
And you and David Petersen have been friends for a while. You also worked on Legends of the Guard, correct?
Yep. He had an idea for an anthology book because there were just so many creators that came to him and said, I'd really love to do a story for, you know, your world. And I had done the 2 pinups in fall of his characters of Black Axe and Liam, and he liked my take on it, so he thought, well, if I'm going to do an anthology book, I really need you to be on it. And so that was really cool. Yeah, I knew Dave pre-Mouse Guard, so it's been a while. I think I had a little bit to do with his first setting up at a convention, which he set up with original like sculptures he did of all the mice, and he had a couple like sketchbooks and stuff, which are I would think were probably the most rarest of the Dave Petersen Mouse Guard propaganda or, you know, artwork that's out there. I think I might still have some of that, but I don't know.
And where can we go to find any of this material online?
You can still get Old Lore of Yore as well, so don't go on eBay and buy that. You can get it on Comic Express. I think it's like $3. You might have to charge or pay a little bit for shipping, but you can get that and Phantom Force still there. I originally published First Pirate Girl through there as well, but I had them take it down as soon as I had like a publisher. So, yeah.
Jeremy Bastian, thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you, John.